everyone. I am Jessica. Welcome back to the channel. Here with Evelyn.
Hello.
Evelyn, we miss them.
Yes, we do. We miss you guys. We are so happy and so glad to be back and to bring you guys obviously some good information.
Yes.
And this topic is going to be hot and you guys are going to love it.
Something that you guys want to know, even that you don't know yet.
Exactly.
So now, as spending any time in social media, and you probably seen like people talking about the famous IUL, right,
Yes.
Evelyn?
But
Everywhere.
Wait, an IUL was an IUL. So the people that don't know what an IUL is would know. An Index Universal Life Policy.
Exactly. So that's a life insurance, and that's the name. So if you never really hear about it, you're gonna learn today about it, right, Evelyn?
Yes, exactly. So the Index Universal Life Policy, or an IUL, is actually a life insurance vehicle that everyone should have, okay? Yeah. Especially if you do qualify, okay? Yeah. It's a permanent life insurance. The purpose for this benefit is for you guys to have the benefit coverage while you are also accumulating cash value into your policy.
Yeah, and one of the biggest misconceptions about the IUL, Evelyn, is that it's a stock market investment, and it's not.
Exactly. That is really, really true. You know, your money is not directly invested into the stock market, right? It is instead the insurance companies credit the interest based on the performance of the S&P 500. Yeah. And that's how your policy will get that interest from the company directly, not from the actual stock market. So that's the difference between how you're accumulating interest on your policy, yeah, from the same policy from the carrier that you are with, instead of the actual stock market. But yeah, there's a good thing about this.
Yeah, so basically we can organize your policy, right, and distribute with the different same different line of investment. Correct. That the stock have, but it's not directly to the stock.
Yes.
So that's what is really important, to have a professional like us.
Yes.
To really have like an education on what is important for you, and then how to prepare the best way the IUL is prepared for you, so you can have the best benefits with those benefits that the IUL can have.
Correct. Right? However, that doesn't guarantee growth every year, okay? There are many years with strong growth, moderate growth, or very little growth depending on the market's condition and the policy design. So remember, we have to design the policy according to your needs. It's not according to our needs, it's to you. We're going to do this policy according to what you guys need. And that's how we are able to illustrate the policy to them.
That's the most important part, I think, because they can see what is the possibility. In properly designed IUL is extremely important. So this is when transparency is important. And IUL is not a microwave, my people, please. It's not designed to create wealth overnight. It's a long-term financial strategy. Really important.
Exactly. And people have to understand that typically these IULs are built throughout the years. You can build it for 10, 15, 20, or 30 years. So you guys will have the best benefit out of the IUL.
Let's talk about the taxes, because that is one of the biggest things that and reason that people are interested to know or have an IUL, Evelyn.
Yes. The potential advantage is tax deferred growth. As long as the cash value remains inside the policy, growth is generally not subject to annual income taxes.
That's amazing. And if a policy is properly structured and remains in force, policies holder may be able to access cash value through the policy loans and are generally not considered taxable income.
That is true. And this is where many people oversimplify things, correct? Yeah. Not every withdrawal is tax-free. Yeah. Not every situation is the same. And how money is accessed matter. So it just depends how they're going to access whatever cash value they have inside the policy already.
That is amazing, Evelyn. Because, when I first started doing the IUL and learning about this, and then when I saw about this possibility to, have a loan, and then that you can get the money that you have, and then you still continue having interest from the money amount that you used to have before, even if you take money out. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so my money continue working for me? That's amazing.
Yes. Yes, it does.
So, which bring us to very important topic, the MEC. MEC. What exactly is MEC, Evelyn?
A MEC stands for Modified Endowment Contract. As a policy become a MEC, okay, when it receives too much premium relatively to the IRS guidelines. That means that if you pass that amount that you're supposed to put yearly, you'll be taxed, basically. Yeah. That's what the MEC is.
And that is what matters.
Yes, right. Correct, because you don't want to every year, let's say an example, if someone have to pay taxes every year, you don't want to have a life insurance policy that you pass that MEC amount, and then on top of that, you'll have to pay taxes.
Yeah. And some people, if they really have like they loaded, they sometimes don't mind because, but honestly, as somebody like a normal person, we can say like a regular working people, and you have that, you don't want to go through this. So it's important to know.
Yes, it is important. So, and another thing, once the policy, becomes a MEC, the tax treatment changes, okay? Loans and withdrawals may become taxable. And if you're 59 and a half, additional penalties may apply. So let's try and make sure that people keep that in mind. Remember, if your policy becomes a MEC, you will have to pay taxes.
Exactly. That's what is important. The way that we prepare the policy and structure the policy for you guys. So just be open when you have information and you sit down with your agent. Just be open about really what you want to do, because that's the best way that we can assist you to have the best structured policy for the needs and for your future needs, so it doesn't affect you in that side.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, the MEC is not bad, like we were saying. Some people are paying the taxes. It's just changed the tax advantage that people can have with the MEC, or not going over the MEC.
Yeah. Let's talk about children. Can children have an IUL, Evelyn?
Yes, children can have an IUL. Usually, parents or grandparents they purchase a policy for their children because it's typically they are younger, they are healthier, and which the results of the lower insurance cost. And the good thing about a child having a life insurance policy, especially an IUL, you can have that for when they finish high school. They have money, cash value in there for them to go to college or for whatever they need. But yes, it is really good and very important for your children to have an IUL.
That's great. So just have that in mind, Plus, the early the policy have a starting date, Evelyn, it will be the highest growth. So
correct. And a good important thing is that this also prevents and help when the children are young, and later on they get some kind of sickness or medical conditions. It'll help with that, because once they start at a younger age and they're healthier, the insurance cost is less.
Yeah.
Versus when you have medical conditions, and you're sick or you're taking 2, 3, 4 medications, that's when it gets a little tricky with the insurance carriers.
Yeah. And what about, like, I often hear when I started or before I even really have my license about, hey, often people talk about the $1 million baby IULs can do this for you, you know, through time you can have a policy for your kids early, and then in the future they will have $1 million. How true is that, Evelyn? I was like, what?
So the reality is that a significant accumulation is possible over the decades with proper funding and enough time. So make sure that if the child is young, you start funding it. It just depends how much you're going to fund it to, how much are you going to put into that policy.
That's the most important
So
part.
you'll have $1 million IUL policy.
Yeah.
And you guys can do it. It just depends how much money are you willing to put in there, on the policy.
So it's really important. It's really true. But Evelyn said a specific and really important word: funding.
Yes.
How much you fund.
How much you fund it. And just to keep this in mind for everyone out there, no one should buy an IUL and expect to have money in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
In the next year, like have a lot of money, like, oh, I'm already rich because I have an IUL. No, it doesn't happen that way unless you are extremely wealthy and you're putting a lot of money into your policy.
Exactly.
That's different.
But that is really important. So don't believe everything that you see. This is why we do this video, because we like education and we want to be as transparent as we can. We are not here to sell you policy. We are here to educate you. And if you like the education that we give you and you want to become a client, that's welcome to us. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is not sell you a dream. I like to go to sleep in the night time. I think Evelyn too.
Yes, me too.
No, a microwave. IUL is time. You need to put, like everything in life: effort, money, time, and be patient.
Exactly.
But it can happen, right? And what if like people that start late, know? Sometimes you looking at your 20s, they pass by 30s, and then you look, oh my God, I'm gonna be 40, or I'm 40 something, I'm gonna be 50. It's a good tool, but you need to say, hey, this is the things that I have to do. Is I'm gonna put a good amount of money so I can have a good retirement. And that's something that we can even check for you guys too. Like, we can check in the policy how much money you want to retire, and then it will let us know how much money you need really to get that. If it's not possible that amount, you can start with something.
Exactly.
Right. So now let's compare a IUL with a 401k.
Oh my goodness,
yes. This, right?
The 401k is an employee-sponsored retirement plan, right? The IUL is a life insurance policy. They're designed for different purposes. They're not the same.
So it's not always IUL versus 401k. That is not the thing. Many people use both as part of largest financial strategy. So you can have both. It's not one or other.
Exactly. Right. They're tools, and each tool serves a different purpose. The 401k, that is through your job. The IUL, that's something totally different from your job that you're doing on your own. Has nothing to do with your job.
Yeah. And what is some risk that people should understand before buying an IUL, Evelyn?
Oh my goodness, yes, this is important. This is important. A few important considerations include insurance costs inside your policy. Actual performance may differ from illustration. That means that it depends on the carrier that the agent is using to give you a quote. It just depends on the carrier too. That's very important. Understanding the policy, taking excessive loans, or allowing your policy to lapse. What does it mean for lapsing? That means that you are no longer paying the policy, but you still have money in the policy, your premium that you have paid, that is going to be taken out of there until your policies cancel out.
Exactly. So that's why it's really important to not neglect the payments.
Correct.
You know, if you commit with this, it's a commitment. It's like a marriage, you know, long time, compromise that you make, and something that in the future you are looking at long run. So just look like that.
And just to say something about lapsing, it's important because people will, you can stop making payments into your policy, right?
Yeah.
For 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
Exactly.
You know, once you call the company, and then after that you start putting money back into your policy.
Yeah.
Make sure that you understand that the money that's coming out to pay those 3 or 6 months that you're not paying is coming out of the money that you're already putting there. So when 6 months pass by and you start putting money into your policy and you're like, wait, what's going on? What happened? Why it doesn't look like 6 months ago? Because money came out, so your policy will be paid.
Exactly.
So now basically you're starting all over again. Yeah. You know, with the savings.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good explanation, Evelyn. So that's why education matters, my people. Illustration is not guarantee.
Correct.
Really important. It's simply a projection based on assumption on the market at the time that we did the illustration, right, Evelyn?
Correct.
So it could be better if market change. It could be less if things change as well.
Yes, a properly designed IUL can be a valuable part of a financial plan, correct? But it's not the right solution for everyone because everyone has different financial situations.
Exactly. I always said this, and I know some people they don't agree, but I don't believe that an IUL is for everybody. I think it's a lot of different products there, depending on your base of lifestyle, on your priorities, on your income. You need to decide the good product. If you have a good job and you're working and you have a good retirement, and then you don't have enough money to put aside, IUL maybe it's not for you because this is based on how much money you put in. You know, it's a long-term situation. If you want something for 2 years, I wouldn't say this is the way to save money. This is for long-term. This is for people to vision their life in the future. You know what? I don't want to go to Walmart and Publix when I'm 65. Correct. I want to prefer not to maybe don't vacation that much, don't have this much. Correct. But I'm going to put this money aside so when I'm 65, I can have money coming from that. It feels like I'm working when I'm not.
Exactly.
Right? Yep. So that's something to have really in mind. One of the benefits besides IUL and IUL being insurance policy and being a possibility of a financial strategy for planning in the future is something that I love, Evelyn.
Yes. It's living benefits. What does that mean?
Benefits.
That means if you have chronic, critical,
and terminal,
living illness is living benefits. That if you have any of those conditions while you still have your policy and you still alive, you can utilize the benefits from your policy.
I love that.
That is so important because you never know when you're going to get sick.
Exactly.
Okay, like you never know when something's going to happen to you, or if you have an accident at work, and then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Don't forget that if you have an IUL or any other kind of life insurance policy, most insurance policies do have living benefits.
Yeah. Most of them they do have it. Some of them they offer it, and people doesn't because they don't add those benefits. But it's thing that you can, enclose in your policy. They call it riders, and this is really good. Another thing that you can do also with the IUL is that if you tie in the money, right, you can add your spouse on the benefits of having the IUL, the policy for both of them. The only thing is that the living benefits is only gonna go to the primary person in the policy. So that's what we always recommend to have individually
policies.
so that way you guys can take advantage. Like Evelyn said, you never know what's going to happen. And let's be honest, the most plenty people to have sickness than just die by an accident.
Correct.
So that's what is, I love that part of the policy, just the fact that you can have a percentage
Correct.
of you living, policy, your death benefits in when you are alive. That's huge deal.
Yes, that's really good. Just keep that in mind that the IUL do have living benefits, and you guys can utilize those living benefits if for any reason you need them.
Exactly. So my people, this is really important that when you speak with an agent, you ask about the living benefits.
Correct.
And other riders that the IUL have that you can add to. But I would say those three is the most important.
And some of the carriers, not all of them, they also have Alzheimer's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Alzheimer's in there as well. So not all the carriers do, but some do. So
who tends to benefit more about IUL?
People who needs permanent life insurance. Okay. Yay. Individuals seeking long-term cash value accumulation. Okay.
Important.
Families interested in tax diversification. All right. Business owners, parents planning for future generations. That's very important. And individuals with long-term mindset.
Yeah.
So like we said before, the IUL is not for everyone. Okay.
It's not.
But it can be doable. It just depends how it is illustrated and given to you. But at the end of the day, us, the agents, will have to be realistic with our clients and tell them, okay, you do benefit from the IUL or you do not benefit from the IUL.
Exactly. That's a conversation. And that's what is good to have, that's just one-on-one with a professional. It's like, the same way we go to the beauty and have the professional, the tea, we go to the dentist, it's the same with finances. That's something that's scary. Oh my God, people's going to know how much. Don't think like that. Just, hey, be open, have this person that you can trust. And this is like a professional situation with what we talk, it doesn't get out from that room.
Correct.
So it's a one-on-one. So don't be afraid. This is my situation, how I can benefit from that and interesting, and then we can guide you from there. Okay. So the most important thing to understand is understanding what you're buying.
Yes.
Not what some social media is saying, what a flashing insurance show. No, it's but what time the policy actually does for you. Okay.
Exactly. So education first, people. Strategy second, and product third. So make sure that when you are talking to someone about the IUL, you're getting the right information. Make sure that you ask questions, that they explain to you exactly what the IUL does and what it's going to do for you. Okay. And like Jessica and I said, this is not for everyone. But if it's not for you, don't worry about it. There are other options out there.
We have other products.
There's regular life insurance, there's whole life, there's a Roth IRA that you can put your money into with growth. So there's so many things out there.
Annuities too.
And annuity, correct.
Yeah.
There's so many things out there that will be beneficial for our clients according and depending on what are your needs.
Yeah. And we hope this video helped them better understand what IUL is. And if a question is there, leaving them in the comments. Don't be shy. And really, thank you for watching.
Perfect. Yes, please stay tuned. Click on the little button on the little bell. Follow us. We're going to keep posting a few things for you guys here and there. And then if you have any questions, just let us know. Post the comments, ask questions.
Yeah.
No question is a stupid question. So, any question, we'll be glad to answer it.
Yeah.
So, see you guys in the next video.
Bye.